Right. So, good evening, children. So, it's nice to have all of you on board again. So, we'll continue. நம்ம எங்கிருந்து விட்டோமோ last classல. So, we are continuing from there. Okay. So, question number 18, sir, சொன்ன மாதிரி quite easy தான். But still, I will show you how it needs to be done. It's a simple trick. So, directா கூட நீங்க அதை approach பண்ணலாம். So, one of you said the answer as 4 ohms. That's correct. So, we'll see how you're, getting 4 ohms. So the question, we'll first read the question and try to understand the question. The effective resistance of parallel connection that consists of 4 wires. So 4 wire கொடுத்திருக்காங்க. Length also is same. Area of cross section is also same. And made of the same material அப்படின்னு சொல்லியிருக்காங்க. So அதோட effective resistance பார்த்தீங்கன்னா is 0.25 ohms. So what will be the effective resistance if you are going to connect them in series? சரிங்களா? So parallel இருக்கும்போது, so they are telling it is 0.25. So resistance for parallel is 0.25. இப்படி எழுதிக்கலாம். ஓகேங்களா? So when the resistors are identical and they are in parallel, so can't you directly say the relationship 1 by Rp is equal to 1 by R1? நம்ம அப்படி அந்த ஃபார்முலா தான் யூஸ் பண்ணுவோம். So it's basically equal. So can't you directly write resistance in parallel is equal to R upon 4? நம்ம அந்த ரெசிப்ரோக்கலால் எடுத்த பிற்பாடு R by 4 வரும். So it's R by 4. Now you go for substitution. 0.25 is equal to R upon 4. So what is R value? This implies R is equal to 1 ohm அப்படின்னு வரும். இப்போ இந்த ரெசிஸ்டர்ஸ் நம்ம வந்து சீரீஸ்ல அரேஞ்ச் பண்ணோம்னா ஆப்வியஸ்லி டைரக்ட் அடிஷன் தான். ஸோ 4 times 1 ohms உங்களுக்கு என்ன வரும்? 4 ohms வரும். அவ்வளோதான். ஸோ தட் இஸ் தி ஆன்சர். சரிங்களா? ஸோ தி ஆன்சர் இஸ் ஆப்ஷன் 4 or option D, which is 4 ohms. Okay, now that is all about question number 18. So without further delay, we'll go to question number 19. So 19 la pathina potentiometer related question. So in a potentiometer circuit, the EMF of the cell, that is 1.5 volt, is giving balance point at 36 centimeters. So now namak andha data vandu nam underline panikalam. So EMF kuduthirukkranga of one cell 1.5 and corresponding balancing length for that is 36. அப்புறம் இன்னொரு செல் கொடுத்துருக்குறாங்க 2.5 வோல்ட் அப்படின்னு சொல்லிட்டு. அண்ட் ஸோ வி ஆர் ஃபைண்டிங் அவுட் வாட் வுட் பி த பேலன்ஸ் பாயிண்ட் ஃபார் தட். ஸோ உங்களுக்கு வந்து டைரக்ட் ரிலேஷன்ஷிப்பே தெரியும். ஸோ வென் த கம்பேரிஷன் ஆஃப் இஎம்எஃப் இன் த பொட்டென்ஷியோமீட்டர் ஃபார் 2 cells. ஸோ வாட் இஸ் த ரிலேஷன் ஃபார் த ரேஷியோ ஆஃப் இஎம்எஃப்? ரேஷியோ ஆஃப் இஎம்எஃப் தான் நம்ம யூஸ் பண்ண போகிறோம். ஸோ டைரக்ட்லி யூ கேன் சே E1 upon E2 is equal to, so anybody can you just give it a try? Yes, L1 by L2. Where EMF, where E1 is EMF of first cell, E2 வந்து EMF of second cell. ரெண்டு வேல்யூஸ்மே நம்ம கொடுத்துருக்காங்க. L1 is first balancing point of with respect to the first cell and L2 is the other balancing point. So ரெண்டு balancing length relationshipம் வந்துருச்சு. Just go for a rearrangement, substitute பண்ணுங்க and rearrange, உங்களுக்கு ஆன்சர் வந்துரும்.
3 cm.
So what is L2? Correct. So which is 36 into 2.5, yeah. 2.5 upon 1.5. அவ்வளோதான். So you simplify this. How much you're getting? I think you're getting 60, right? 60 centimeters.
Yes, sir.
Yes. So the answer is option 1, first option. சரிங்களா? அவ்வளோதான். Comparison of EMF and balancing length condition மட்டும் தான். Direct relationship. Okay. Moving on to the next question. I hope it is clear. So I know I'm fast, but I think this does not require more time. அதனால I'm going fast. Sorry. So next question number 20. Polar molecules are molecules having zero dipole moment. First one, acquire dipole moment only in the presence of electric field due to displacement of charges அப்படின்னு சொல்லிருக்காங்க. Third, acquire dipole moment only when magnetic field is absent. Four, having permanent dipole moment. So electric dipole moment is 4. Which one is correct?
Option 4.
Yes, option 4 is correct. It has a permanent electric dipole moment. அப்படின்னா என்னது? polar molecules அப்படின்னு எடுத்துக்கிட்டீங்கன்னா it has both positive charges and negative charges ரெண்டுமே இருக்கும். And they are not present which are mixed together. அப்படின்னா you don't find them nullifying their effect each other. So they are polar. One is towards the other end and one is again the other way around. So ரெண்டுமே are far apart from each other. So therefore what's happening? The positive charges are not going to cancel out with the negative charges. Hence, the molecules would have an electric dipole moment existing. So ஒரு dipole moment எப்பவுமே இருந்துட்டே இருக்கும். From negative towards positive charge, it keeps acting. So therefore, we say it has a permanent electric dipole. So அதுதான் நம்ம பிரத்யேகமா அந்த போலார் மாலிக்யூல்ஸ்க்கு வந்து நம்ம சொல்லுவோம். So it has a dipole moment definitely. So first one, no dipole moment, zero dipole moment சொல்லிருக்காங்க, that is wrong. Second one, acquired dipole moment only in presence of electric field, not necessarily. So it's not true for this. அதே மாதிரி dipole moment only when magnetic field is absent, no, that's also not true. So the most appropriate answer is the fourth answer. Okay, so again we'll move on to the next one. Question number 21. சரிங்களா? So I'll just erase all this part. Okay, question number 21. Yeah. A parallel plate capacitor has a uniform electric field, E bar, in space between the plates. If distance between the plates is D and area of each plate is A, then the energy stored in the capacitor would be, so we are finding out what would be the energy stored given these conditions. So first
Option one.
Option 1. Cherry. Oh, we will check that. Okay, we will see whether it's option 1. Fine. So first we are going to write the expression for parallel plate capacitor. Parallel plate capacitor expression another C is
Epsilon
equal
naught A by D.
yes. So C is equal to epsilon naught A upon D, where epsilon naught is your permittivity of free space. A one is nothing but the area of the plate, where D is distance of separation between the plates. So that is all about this formula. Okay. So இப்போ பொட்டன்ஷியல் டிஃபரன்ஸ் ரிலேஷன்ஷிப் வந்து நம்ம இங்க கொண்டு வரணும். சரிங்களா? பொட்டன்ஷியல் டிஃபரன்ஸ் ரிலேஷன்ஷிப் ஏன் பொட்டன்ஷியல் கொண்டு வரோம்னா, பிகாஸ் யூ வாண்டட் டு ஃபைண்ட் அவுட் எனர்ஜி. ஸோ எனர்ஜி ரிலேஷன்ஷிப் வந்து half CV ஸ்கொயர் அப்படிங்கிறதுனால, ஸோ வி ட்ரை டு பிரிங் இன் த பொட்டன்ஷியல் ரிலேஷன்ஷிப் ஆல்சோ, எலக்ட்ரிக் பொட்டன்ஷியல் டிஃபரன்ஸ். ஸோ எலக்ட்ரிக் ஃபீல்ட் அண்ட் பொட்டன்ஷியல் டிஃபரன்ஸ் கேன் பி ரிலேட்டட் as V is equal to E upon L. இப்படின்னு எழுதிக்கலாமா? எலக்ட்ரிக் ஃபீல்ட் upon length, right? This is electric potential. Okay, electric potential gradient அப்படினு கூட நம்ம இத சொல்லுவோம். So we can write it like this. So we are having L here. L is nothing but the length. இங்க length அப்படினா என்னது? With respect to parallel plate capacitor, length is nothing but the distance between the plates. So E upon D அப்படினு கூட I can write it. So we get the relation like this. Now energy stored formula. So energy is represented using the letter U. So U is equal to half CV square. So we have that relationship where C is capacitance, V is your electric potential. So then the equations alla nama ipo kondu varaporom. So go and substitute the values. So you get half. C edathila vandu capacitance, parallel plate capacitance oda formula substitute pannalam. Epsilon naught A upon D. Now we go and substitute for V. V is nothing but E upon D. But V square அப்படி இருக்கிறதுனால you can write this as into E square upon D square. So we get the relation like this, isn't it? Okay. So we get the relation like this. So this is what we have. Finally, you go for a simplification. So when you simplify this, what are you getting? Yeah. So what is the final relationship that you are getting?
Half epsilon naught A E square by D cube.
Okay, half epsilon naught A E square by D cube. Okay. So but we don't have D cube option here. Okay, இந்த ஒரு ரிலேஷன் மட்டும் செக் பண்ணுங்க. எலக்ட்ரிக் பொட்டன்ஷியல் கிரேடியன்ட் ரிலேஷன்ஷிப் E is equal to, if you go for a rearrangement, E into D. Sherry. So I think V is equal to E by L relation is right, isn't it? This one.
Sir, V is equal to E into L.
E into L ingla. Okay, my bad. Sherry. So that is where I was confused. Okay, E into L product. Okay, so E is V by L. Yes, correct. Electric potential gain, potential per unit length. Yeah, fine. Thank you for correcting. All right. So then we have a small change. So V is E into L அப்படிங்கிறதுனால இங்க E times L the whole square. So epsilon naught A upon D. அந்த L nothing but D தான். So E square into D square. So அப்போ என்ன வரும்? மேல இருக்க ஒரு D cancel ஆயிரும். So you get half epsilon naught A E square D. Correct? Yeah, இப்போ
Yes,
வருது.
sir.
This is the relation. Correct. So let me also check the key 1 second because this question was doubtful. Let me just check the key also once. Yeah, it is correct. It is option 3.
3, sir.
Yes, 3 தான். 3 is the correct answer. Yes. So just wanted to check. So in the formula வந்து ஞாபகம் வச்சுக்கோங்க. So V is equal to E into L or E is V by L. So I just wrote it the other way around. Okay, so here you have to be very careful with the formula. Fine. So let me save it. So option 3. I hope this part is clear. We corrected ourselves. Fine. So moving on. Going to the next part. 22nd question. இது கூட கொஞ்சம் நீங்க யோசிச்சீங்கன்னா ஆன்சர் கிடைச்சிரும். ஈஸி தான். The way they have put the question seems to be confusing, but it is easy. So you can see it. You have to find out the total capacitance. 3 capacitor இருக்கு. So who can tell me the answer? By just looking also you can tell the answer. Who will tell? Just try. By looking at the question also you can come to a conclusion. In the question. It's okay. You can just give it a try. மூணு capacitors இருக்கு. So which capacitor?
3C/2.
3C/2. Okay. எப்படி 3C/2 அப்படின்னு சொன்னீங்க?
Sir, first in parallel connection. So C
Yeah.
plus C, 2C.
But CA and C plus C 2C பண்ண முடியாதே. ஏன்னா here it is connected. No, you have a node here. So you can't directly do it like that. First இதை தான் நம்ம ரெடியூஸ் பண்ணணுமே ஒழிய you cannot touch these two capacitors. நான் இதை பாக்ஸ்ல போட்டிருக்கேன்னா நம்ம ஃபர்ஸ்ட் அதை ரெடியூஸ் பண்ணி ஆகணும். Is there a, so will you consider this capacitor which is present here?
No, sir, galvanometer.
It is looking like a Wheatstone circuit. நீங்க இதை பார்த்தீங்கன்னா this represents a Wheatstone circuit. So this capacitance which is there in the center is the galvanometer arm. Under null deflection current would not flow. So நம்ம என்ன பண்ணுவோம்? இதை eliminate பண்ணிடுவோம். So that gets eliminated. Is it clear? So then the circuit becomes simple for us. அதுக்கப்புறம் நீங்க சொல்லலாம் இது ரெண்டுமே parallel இருக்கு. Parallel இருந்தா நீங்க டைரக்டா ஆட் பண்ணுவீங்க. So if you add, the effective capacitance will be
2C.
2C. That's it. So the correct answer is option 2.
2.
ஓகேங்களா? அவ்வளவுதான். So that is the only part. The part is you should identify what is the nature of the circuit and appropriately eliminate the galvanometer arm. Okay, once you identify it's a Wheatstone circuit. Sure. So next question number 23, assertion and reason type question. So in the question la வந்து ரெண்டு statements கொடுத்திருப்பாங்க. You have a assertion and you have a reason. So you have to read both of them and appropriate நீங்க keys choose பண்ணணும். ரெண்டு assertion reason ரெண்டுமே கரெக்ட்டா இருந்துச்சுன்னா you will choose first one. If both are incorrect you will choose second one. And if one assertion is correct and the reason is incorrect you will choose third and so on so forth. சரிங்களா? So I will just erase this to make things clear. Yeah. So now you can see the question clearly. So இதை read பண்ணிட்டு யோசிச்சு எனக்கு சொல்லுங்க. Assertion, I'm just reading it for you. A Zener diode is connected in reverse bias when used as a voltage regulator. This is the assertion. சரிங்களா? So you have this. And the statement B. Statement B in எடுத்துக்கலாம். Reason, instead of reason, you can take it as statement B. The potential barrier of PN junction lies between 0.1 volt to 0.3 volt. So ரெண்டு statement கொடுத்திருக்காங்க. Assertion like reason மாதிரி தான், அந்த format தான். So two statements.
Option 3.
Option
3. A is correct, B is incorrect.
A is correct and B is incorrect. Okay. Okay, why is B incorrect?
Sir, potential barrier lies between 0.7 to 1.1.
0.7 to 1.1. Okay. Okay. So Zener diode when it is forward biased, what happens? Under forward bias condition, it is going to be a conducting diode, right? Normal conducting PN junction diode. But in the reverse bias, அது வந்து ஒரு voltage regulator இருக்கும். Correct தான். That statement is correct. Perfect. That is the property of the Zener diode. Yes. So assertion, no doubt. That's right. Okay. Coming to the reason, the potential barrier of a PN junction lies between 0.1 to 0.3 அப்படின்னு சொல்லியிருக்காங்க. So at normal temperature, that is at room temperature, the voltage is going to lie between 0.6 to 0.7. நீங்க வந்து அந்த சிலிக்கன் எடுத்துக்கிட்டீங்க அப்படின்னா it is going to be between 0.6 and 0.7. Germanium பார்த்தீங்கன்னா it's between 0.3 to 0.35. So that is how the PN junction is made. Generally நம்ம சிலிக்கனை தான் நம்ம சொல்லுவோம். So அந்த ரெண்டு ரேஞ்சுக்குள்ள இந்த ரேஞ்ச் வந்து ஃபிட் ஆக மாட்டேங்குது, பொருந்த மாட்டேங்குது. So therefore the reason, the statement B is wrong. So only our assumption is correct. So A is correct and B is incorrect. So that is the most appropriate answer here. So the third option. So option C is the key for this. Seri. Next question. Moving on to question number 24. I would like, can one of you volunteer and read this question? Yeah.
A particle is released from height S from the surface of the earth. At a certain height, its kinetic energy is 3 times its potential energy. The height from the surface of earth and the speed of the particle at that instant are respectively.
Yes. So at that instant, what is the height? What is the height from the surface of the earth and speed of the particle? We have to find out. Okay. So here you need to first understand what is the scenario. We have to identify. So a particle நம்ம release பண்ணோம். சரி, release பண்ணலாம். From a certain height அப்படின்னு கூட சொல்லியிருக்காங்க. From certain height, yes. Okay. So let's take this as the reference point. So from this point, I am going to release a particle. So I will mark this as, level A. இது வந்து ground level வச்சுக்கலாம். So அதாவது earth. நம்மளை பொறுத்த வரைக்கும் இப்போ இது earth. So this is the earth. Okay. Earth level is what is this? This green line that I have drawn. Okay. So on the top, from top, you're releasing one particle. So on the distance from the surface of the earth, this, you have to take it as yes. So this is yes. So in the point till the earth, it is yes. So when you release this particle, so obviously the particle is going to fall down, right? So it is, so will you consider it as an object in free fall when you drop a particle from a height?
Yes, sir.
Correct. So it is an object in free fall. So on the free fall, conditions consider பண்ணுவோமோ அந்த எல்லா கண்டிஷன்ஸுமே இந்த பார்ட்டிகலுக்கு நம்ம கன்சிடர் பண்ணி ஆகணும். So only then you are going to arrive at the right steps. So it is going to be an object in free fall. So the object is going to fall down. So it starts falling down with velocity v. You're dropping, initial velocity component will be 0, but final velocity as it falls is not going to be 0. Okay. So at a certain height, its kinetic energy is 3 times its potential energy. Now at a certain height, that means it's not the height from which it is dropped, and the height A kadiyadu. So at some height, at certain height, after it's being dropped, so we choose some arbitrary height. So say some arbitrary point B. I'm taking another point B. A is from where we have dropped it. B is that certain height. Okay. So this is S in the certain height the question I don't think so they have given. So let's take that certain height as H. Okay, so we'll take it as H. So at that height, what are they saying? Kinetic energy is 3 times its potential energy. So that is the relationship. So kinetic energy, so at H, that is at height of H above the earth, kinetic energy is equal to 3 times potential energy. Okay, so we are trying to relate it. Fine. So when the body falls from rest, so on the மேல இருந்து நம்ம drop பண்ணும்போது when it is falling, obviously it is at rest and then you are dropping it. So initial velocity component would be 0, but final velocity is not 0 அப்படிங்கும்போது. So what is the height that it is going to fall through? Okay, so what is the corresponding height that the object is going to fall through? So how will you find out? We can use the kinematic equations. So which kinematic equation can we use when it falls?
S equal to ut plus half a.
கரெக்ட். ஸோ மேலே இந்த எஸ் அப்படிங்கிற ஹைட் பார்த்தீங்கன்னா ஏலேருந்து அடுத்து வரைக்கும் அட் சர்டன் ஹைட் பி நம்ம ஹெச்னு எடுத்துருக்கிறோம். ஸோ அந்த மீதி இருக்கக்கூடிய ஹைட் மேலே பார்த்தீங்கன்னா தட் இஸ் பிக்கர் லென்த் மைனஸ் ஸ்மாலர் லென்த், தட்ஸ் பிக் ஹைட் மைனஸ் ஸ்மால் ஹைட். ஸோ அதை எஸ் மைனஸ் ஹெச்னு வச்சுக்கலாம். Isn't it? Don't you think that is S minus H?
Yes,
Yeah?
sir.
Yeah. So that is S minus H. So we are going to apply the third equation of motion and get what is the velocity at which the object is falling from point A. So using third equation, you know that V square minus U square is equal to 2AS. This is our relationship. So make use of this. So நமக்கு V தான் தேவை. U square அந்த பக்கம் shift பண்ணிக்கலாம். So V square is equal to U வந்து obviously 0 தான். 0 square is 0. So 2, A is nothing but acceleration due to gravity in our case. So A இடத்துல G போட்டுக்கிறேன். S is nothing but the height through which it is falling till that certain height, which is S minus H over. So what is V? It will be under root this value, do G times S minus H. So நம்ம velocity நமக்கு கிடைச்சிருச்சு. ஓகேங்களா? So when the body is at that certain height h above the ground, so potential energy and kinetic energy, we have got the relationship. So directly go for the relationship. சரிங்களா? So kinetic energy is half m into v square is equal to 3 times potential energy. So 3 into, what is the formula for potential energy? mg into h. Isn't it? So mg into h. So that is what I am doing. Okay. So h தான் நம்ம அந்த height கூட எடுத்துக்கிறோம். So it is appropriate to write h. Okay. So this is the equation we are getting. So here you can see I can find out what is that height h using both the equations. இந்த equation நம்ம 1 மார்க் பண்ணிக்கலாம். இந்த செகண்ட் equation வந்து 2 மார்க் பண்ணிக்கலாம். ஈக்குவேஷன் 1ஐயும் செகண்டையும் நீங்க யூஸ் பண்ணி எனக்கு h ஓட வேல்யூ சொல்லுங்க. What is h? Find out and tell me what is h in terms of s. Come on, do it. Substitution method தான். அதை கொண்டு போய் substitute பண்ணி simplify பண்ணீங்க அப்படின்னா you will get the value. So what is the value of h? So square root போயிரும்.
S by 4, sir.
Very good. It is s by 4. So you will get s by 4. சரிங்களா? ஸோ h நமக்கு கிடைச்சிருச்சு இப்போ. ஸோ இப்போ அதை கொண்டு போய் நம்ம வெலாசிட்டி ஈக்குவேஷனில் வச்சோம்னா நமக்கு ஈக்குவேஷன் இன் டர்ம்ஸ் ஆஃப் எஸ் கிடைச்சிரும். ஸோ வி ஆர் ட்ரைங் டு எலிமினேட் தட் h in terms of s substitute பண்ணுறதுனால. ஸோ வாட் இஸ் v now? Under root of 2g times s minus s by 4. இது வந்து நீங்கள் எல்சிஎம் எல்லாம் எடுத்து மல்டிப்ளை எல்லாம் பண்ணி ஸோ எனக்கு சொல்லுங்க வாட் யூ ஆர் கெட்டிங். Go for an LCM. Simplify it.
Root 3gs by 2.
Yes, you will get under root of 3gs upon 2. Okay, so in the root one, is it the root for the entire term or is it root only for the numerator? Root is only for the
whole root.
Is it the whole root?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So this root is there for the entire term. Okay, fine. So adu vandu careful ah irunga. So it is the whole root. Check. Okay. So now we have got it. So what is the answer?
Option 4.
Height வந்துருச்சு. Height வந்து s by 4 எங்க இருக்கு? ரெண்டு இடத்துல s by 4, மூணு இடத்துல s by 4 இருக்கு. Whole root வந்து divided by 2 வந்து ஒரே ஆப்ஷன். So answer வந்து option 4 தான். So option 4 is the correct option. Is it clear? இந்த மாதிரி தான் நம்ம இந்த क्वेश्चन solve பண்ணுவோம். Simple தான், but you have to approach this diagrammatically, draw பண்ணி and then you will have to relate and find out. Okay. Next question, question number 25. Yes, I think this question is simple. I wanted you guys to try, but anyways, please read the question once and then go for it. Application of dimensional formula. If E and G denote energy and gravitational constant, then the ratio E by G அதோட டைமென்ஷன் வந்து என்ன அப்படின்னு கேட்குறாங்க. You have to find out what is the dimension of this ratio. Dimensional analysis தான்.
Option 1, sir.
Option 1.
1.
Okay. M square L power minus 2 T power 0. That's correct. Option is correct. So what did you do to solve this? Correct. What you said is right.
Energy is equal to Newton meter. Gravitational constant unit Newton meter square per kg square. Newton cancel.
So energy order. So energy order relation பாத்தீங்க அப்படின்னா I mean dimensional formula பாத்தீங்கன்னா energy is power into time. ஓகேங்களா? So power again you try to bring in the dimensions. Power and time ஓட நான் multiply பண்ணி வச்சிருக்கேன். So you multiply all those things, you will get m to the power m தான் m into L square into T power minus 2 வரும். And G is nothing but your universal gravitational and the constant. சரிங்களா? ஸோ அதெல்லாம் நீங்கள் சிம்பிளிஃபை பண்ணீங்க அப்படின்னா யூ நோ தட் F is equal to Gm and m2 by r square. உங்களுக்கு தெரிஞ்சது தான். அதை ரீஅரேஞ்ச் பண்ணி நீங்கள் ஃபைண்ட் அவுட் பண்ணீங்க அப்படின்னா யூ வில் கெட் m to the power minus 1 L cube and T to the power minus 2. கரெக்டா? திஸ் இஸ் வாட் யூ கெட். அதுக்கப்புறம் டிவைட் பண்ணுங்க. ஸோ யூ டிவைட் யூ வில் கெட் தி ஆன்சர் as option 1. Is it clear? That's all. So this is what you do for this question. Okay. So simple. So that's question 25. So dimension method use பண்ணி நம்ம solve பண்றோம். Okay. Next question number 26. Okay, can you try this matching? Matching is quite simple. So formulas தெரிஞ்சதுன்னா டக் டக் டக்குன்னு மேட்ச் பண்ணிட்டு போயிட்டே இருக்கலாம். So you remember the values? Just try it. Try to match the following. Column 1 and column 2 you have to choose. And then match them appropriately. So first one, A, root mean square speed of gas molecules, which is the correct matching key for A?
Q, sir.
Q. A will match with Q. That's correct. Under root 3 RT by M. அதுதான். So that is root mean square of gas molecules, isn't it? Where T is your thermodynamic temperature, R is your ideal gas constant, okay, M is your mass. So அதெல்லாம் நம்ம தெரிஞ்சதுதான் நமக்கு. Next, pressure exerted by ideal gas.
Sir, D க்கு R.
B வந்து D க்கு வந்து Rங்களா? Okay, D is R. Correct. Total internal energy of 1 mole of diatomic mass. Correct. 5 by 2 RT. Yes, that's right. Okay. B for Bombay or B for ball?
Yes, sir.
Pressure exerted by ideal gas. It is P. P for Poland. So half Nm V square. I mean 1 by 3 Nm V square, not half. 1 by 3 Nm V square. So the left out is obviously average kinetic energy, which is 3 by 2 kb into T. So 3 by 2 Boltzmann's constant time thermodynamic temperature. Okay, so this is, so which is the correct answer key for this? AQ ல ரெண்டு options இருக்கு. So go for next. B is P. So option 3.
Option 3, sir.
ஆமா. No, option 3 is correct. Okay, fine. Next, question number 27. A body is executing simple harmonic motion with frequency n. The frequency of its potential energy is, so potential energy oda frequency வந்து என்ன அப்படினு கேக்குறாங்க. If it is going to execute simple harmonic motion. சரிங்களா? Yes. So what do we do here? So you have to relate. So you have to express what is the expression for a body executing simple harmonic motion. So எப்படி நம்ம எக்ஸ்பிரஸ் பண்ணலாம்?
Sir,
Yeah.
last option, sir, 4n.
4n. இல்ல, it is not 4n actually.
Simple harmonic motion minus ax.
So நீங்க x of t நீங்க கேள்விப்பட்டிருப்பீங்க. It's nothing but the equation of a simple harmonic motion, the displacement as a function of time. X of t is equal to a sine of omega t plus phi. This is the general expression, okay, for the displacement as a function of time. அதுக்கப்புறம் potential energy கூட you have a relationship where u is equal to half into kx square. So இங்க நம்ம x substitute பண்ணோம் அப்படின்னா you will be getting half k a square sine square of omega t plus phi. So அது கூட I will write it. A square times sine square of omega t plus phi. This is what you get. Okay. Now, so this is there. So, what is the frequency term? From the given expressions, we can identify what is the term. What is the frequency term also? So what is the frequency term? Omega t, நீங்க அந்த relationship பார்த்தீங்கன்னா, you will obviously get to know it.
2 pi f.
Okay. That's 2 pi f. So t is nothing but omega is 2 pi by t and the relationship da. If omega is 2 pi by t, here we try to bring in the frequency. So frequency term, because frequency is nothing but reciprocal of time period. So frequency we can write it here. They have told n. Actually f நம்ம யூஸ் பண்ணுவோம். இங்க n ன்னு சொல்லியிருக்காங்க. So n is omega by 2 pi. Reciprocal of t தானே. So this is how we find out. Rearrange பண்ணீங்கன்னா உங்களுக்கு இது வரும். So where n is frequency. Let me write that also. So n is frequency. So we can express like this. So the time period relation நம்ம பண்ணோம் அப்படின்னா, so what we are going to get for the relationship of time period? You can see that x square term is a square sine square omega t plus phi. So இங்க வந்து time period is going to be pi by omega. So time period t is going to be equal to 2 pi f then. So 2 pi upon 2 omega varum. So this is the relationship that we get. So 2 would get cancelled and you get pi upon omega, and frequency is going to be n. So இதுக்கு வந்து frequency n is equal to omega by pi. So இங்க omega by pi இருக்கு. So there we have omega upon 2 pi. You go for relating both of them, you will get. So இது வந்து நான் differentiate பண்றதுக்கு n1 இல்ல n dash ன்னு வெச்சுக்கிறேன். So you can see that n dash is equal to twice that of the frequency. So it is 2n. So we get as 2n.
Sir,
Yes,
how
so-
did you write t is equal to 2 pi by 2 omega?
Yeah, so time period, we are expressing time period. So for the expression from potential energy, so where we get half k a square sine square omega t plus phi. So you can write that expression in terms of the other harmonic function. The harmonic function of sine is cos. So what will you get? So that is u is equal to half. நீங்க வந்து அந்த இது பண்ணுவீங்க இல்லையா? So initial minus final relationship when you do. So we can write it as 1 by 4 k a square. நம்ம இதை காமன் அவுட் எடுத்துக்கலாம். Times 1 minus cos of 2 omega t plus 2 phi. We can write it like this. This is the expression in terms of the harmonic functions. That is cos harmonic function. So இங்கே தான் எனக்கு அந்த 2 omega t term வந்தது. So from here I am using that relationship. So this is something that you will have to be knowing. So we are using this relationship and then we get the frequency in terms of 2 omega t. So other base which I am calculating the time periods. I am getting T1 and T2. So over a time period when already I have written on the top. Second time period is 2 pi by 2 omega when it was corresponding to this harmonic function. So there are two functions that are involved.
Understood, sir. Okay.
Yeah. சரிங்களா? So we are using that and then we are writing. Because we don't have space here, I'm not able to show all the steps. So we are using both the functions and then correlating. So you would get it as 2n. So n dash is 2n. So option 2 is the correct option. Seri, let's move on to the next one. A cup of coffee cools from 90 degrees to 80 degrees in t minutes when the room temperature is 20 degrees. So in your room temperature they have given and they are telling you it's cooling from 90 to 80 degrees. The time taken by a similar cup of coffee to cool from 80 degrees to 60 degrees at a room temperature which is 20 degrees. Abdina, similar cup of coffee, again it is cooling from now 80 to 60. Previously it was 90 to 80, now it is 80 to 60. Change in time is now different. Okay, so
Second option, sir.
what would be the answer? This is the relationship. Directly you can relate them also and find. Okay, yeah. Somebody said something. What is that? Can you repeat?
Second option, sir.
Second option, 13 upon 5t. Okay. Okay, so how did we get that 13 upon 5t? So in the relationship use panninga, Newton's law of cooling use pannirpeenga, correct? So what is the relation you got? You used for Newton's laws of cooling when you substituted the values?
dq by dt directly proportional to
Newton's law of cooling, sir.
dq by dt directly proportional to minus of t minus ts.
Correct. Okay, so Newton's law of cooling direct நீங்க யூஸ் பண்ணலாம் இங்க. So you are having that initial temperature as 80 degrees. For the second case நான் சொல்றேன். அதுக்கப்புறம் you have it as 60 degrees. T1 is 80, T2 is 60. And surrounding temperature தான் நம்ம room temperature, அதாவது 20 degrees TS. So அதை substitute பண்ணுங்க. So and you relate both of them. The first case and the second case நீங்க relate பண்ணீங்கன்னா with respect to constants, you will get the answer in one go. So when you simplify it, when you go for relating them, so what are you going to get? You would get 13 upon 5t. Okay. So first to second நம்ம relate பண்ணும்போது, so 80 directly I am substituting 80 minus 60 upon t. So t1 அப்படின்னு வச்சுக்கிறேன் is equal to k times 80 plus 60 upon 2 minus 20. That is temperature of surroundings. Okay, so 50k is equal to 20 upon t1. We'll get the relation like this. This is for second case. Okay. So I'm relating with respect to the first case. So you'll get 2 upon 13t into 50 is equal to 20 upon t1. So you would get this t1 as, or t dash, go for a rearrangement, you would get 13t upon 5. So 13t upon 5 is option 2. So option 2 is the correct answer. So directly substitute and relate both of them, you would get the answer in one go. Very good. So you got the answers. Okay. Next question. Okay, next question. Question number 29. Can one of you read the question for me? This volunteer.
A capacitor of capacitance C is connected across an AC source of voltage V given by
Yes.
V is equal to V naught sin omega t. The
Yes.
displacement current between the plates of capacitor would then be given by.
Yes. So displacement current வந்து எப்படி, how is it given by? So நீங்க direct relation for displacement current யூஸ் பண்ணலாம். யாருக்காவது ஞாபகம் இருக்குங்களா displacement current ஓட relationship?
ID is equal to epsilon naught dq by dt.
Yes. So ID is equal to C into dV by dt. We can use that in terms of capacitance. We are writing. Okay, so you can write C into dV by dt, direct relationship. So now you go for substituting. So what is the capacitance relationship? You know that the displacement current ID can be written as C into dV by dt. Substitute the value also appropriately. So C times and the dV and the V term தான் நமக்கு அங்க கொடுத்துருக்காங்க. V not sin omega t அப்படின்னு சொல்லி கொடுத்துருக்காங்க. So d by dt times V naught sin omega t. So directly you can. Now you go for differentiation. So differentiate பண்ணுங்க. So differentiate பண்ணீங்க அப்படின்னா you would get C times differentiation of sin becomes cos, right? So C V naught can come out of the differential sign. So V naught. I think you will apply chain rule, right? If I'm not wrong. So you apply chain rule, and then what will you get when you apply the chain rule? V naught omega.
V naught cos omega
Sin,
t into
yeah, sin becomes cos omega t. So C V naught omega cos omega t. That's it. So which is the answer? So C V naught omega cos omega t. So answer is option first option.
1.
அவ்வளவுதான். So this is what you do it. Okay, and this is direct approach. Fine. Moving on to the next one. Question number 30. I hope 29 is clear, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Question number 30. Yes. The half-life of a radioactive nuclide is 100 hours. So the radioactive nuclide has got a half-life of 100 hours. The fraction of original activity that will remain after 150 hours would be. So what would be the fraction as per the question? So what relationship can we be using? So like you can think and you can get me the relationship. Yeah. So substitute. Use the relationship, use the formula, and tell me what what is the answer for this question. ஒரு ரேடியோட்டிவ் நியூக்ளியோட half life வந்து 100 hours அப்படின்னு சொல்லியிருக்காங்க. After 150 hours, what fraction is going to remain? So what is the activity of a radioactive substance? Formula. So A is equal to A naught half. So generally radioactive we refer it as thorium. So thorium or a relationship. So 150 upon 100 for 100 hours. So 8 is equal to A naught half 150 upon 100. So they have already given you the half-life time period. So time period of half-life is 150 upon for 100 hours given. So substitute it. Substituting the values and go for the simplification. So what is A upon A naught? A upon A naught is half to the power 3 by 2.
3 by 2.
So half to the power 3 by 2 now under the answer. What is the answer? So 1 by
1 by 2 root 2.
correct. So 1 by 2 root 2. So you substitute the values and get the answer in one go. So you have to primarily know this relationship. So அந்த formula உங்களுக்கு தெரிஞ்சதுன்னா டைரக்டா நம்ம சப்ஸ்டிட்யூட் பண்ணிட்டு போயிட்டே இருக்கலாம். So you can get the answer. So formulas play an important role. So chapter wise the formulas you should be knowing. So it's easy for us to approach these type of questions. Okay, so the answer is option 4. Sorry, 2, not 4, 2. Okay. Yeah, so moving on. Question number 31. Yes, okay, this is quite big. I want one of you to volunteer. Yeah, please read it.
An inductor of inductance L, a capacitor of capacitance C, and a resistor of resistance R are connected in series to an AC source of potential difference V volts as shown in the figure. Potential difference across L, C, and R is 40 volts, 10 volts, and 40 volts respectively. The amplitude of current flowing through LCR series series circuit is 10 into 2 root 2.
10 root 2 amperes. Hmm.
The impedance of the circuit is.
Yes, what is the impedance? Series LCR circuit direct application. உங்களுக்கு ஃபார்முலா தெரிஞ்சிருந்தா டைரக்டா போட்டு போயிட்டே இருக்கலாம். Who knows the formula? What is the formula for the voltage of a series or RMS series LCR circuit or voltage VRMS relationship? Who can tell me? Yeah. So they are giving potential across the 10 volts அப்படிங்கிறது என்ன? Potential
L.
across capacitance or
Inductance.
inductance or reactor?
Capacitance.
Yes. So VC is 10 volts. So அதை நம்ம எழுதிக்கலாம். VC is 10 volt. And what about 40 volts?
VR.
Correct. Voltage across the resistor 40 volts. Okay. அதே மாதிரி இங்கே கொடுத்துருக்காங்க. So capacitance. Okay. So here they have given the inductance. So everything they have given in the circuit. So once you have found out the given parameters, now you go and find out what is the voltage. In the VRMS value, find out பண்ணுங்க. So
VL
what is
minus
VRMS?
VL minus VC divided by R.
VL minus VC divided by R. No, it is not VL minus VC upon R.
XL minus.
Not in terms of capacitive reactance and inductive reactance. அது இல்ல, அது தவிர்த்து இன்னொரு ஃபார்முலா இருக்கு, which is நீங்க அந்த இம்பிடன்ஸ் ட்ரையாங்கிள்ல வரைஞ்சு அந்த வோல்டேஜ் ரிலேஷன்ஷிப் நீங்க எடுக்கும்போது you will get VR square plus VL minus VC the whole square. So we will use this relationship. புரிஞ்சுதுங்களா? So we use this directly. How much you will get then VRMS? இதை substitute பண்ணி simplify பண்ணீங்க அப்படின்னா how much you're getting? 40 square plus 40 minus 10. 40 minus 10 is anyways 30. So root of 40 square plus 30 square எவ்வளவு வருது?
15. 50.
50 வருதா? I'm getting 50. Okay, I hope you are also getting 50. So VRMS directா கண்டுபிடிச்சிடலாம் இப்படி. So once you got VRMS, can't you find out IRMS? So IRMS is what?
V into R.
நமக்கு ஐஆர்எம்எஸும் வேணும், அப்போதான் நம்ம இம்பிடன்ஸ் ஃபைண்ட் அவுட் பண்ண முடியும். ஓகே, ஸோ ஐஆர்எம்எஸ் கண்டுபிடிக்கலாம். ஸோ ஐஆர்எம்எஸ் இஸ் I0 by root 2. வாட் இஸ் I0? கொஸ்டின்லயே இருக்கு. I0 வேல்யூ என்னது? Peak current, that is 10 root 2 amperes, isn't it? So 10 root 2 divided by root 2. Root 2 cancel, you will get 10 amperes.
10A.
ஆமா. So what is the impedance now? The impedance is equal to VRMS upon IRMS.
Into Z.
Okay. So VRMS upon IRMS. So VRMS relationship நீங்க யூஸ் பண்ணீங்கன்னா so V is equal to IR தானே, அங்க இருந்து வந்துச்சு அந்த ரிலேஷன்ஷிப். I into R, R இடத்துல நம்ம Z போட்டுக்குவோம், that is impedance. அப்புறம் ரீஅரேஞ்ச் பண்ணீங்கன்னா உங்களுக்கு இது தானே வரும், VRMS by I தானே வரும். So VRMS by IRMS. So substitute the values. VRMS is nothing but 50. IRMS is nothing but 10. So what is the answer? 5 ohms. So the answer is 5 ohms. So answer is option 4 according to this question. Is it clear? So this type of questions you can directly use, not the capacitance and inductive reactance formulas. You have to use this formula, under root of VR square plus VL minus VC the whole square. This formula needs to be used. So based on the nature of the question, you will choose which formula would be a perfect fit. So that is very important. Okay, is this question clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay, sure. So we'll move on to the next question. So question number 32. Yes. So it's the 4 graph irukku, so I'll make it small. Are you able to read it? The question number 32. I've reduced the size. I've minimized the window. Okay, fine. Yeah. So one of you can read question number 32 if possible. Otherwise, I will read because
a thick current carrying cable of radius R
small now
carries current I uniformly distributed across its cross section. The variation
Yeah.
of magnetic field B due to the cable with the distance r from the axis of the cable is represented by.
Yeah. So what is the variation of magnetic field they're asking due to the cable at a distance r from its axis of the cable. That is r from the axis of the cable is what is being asked in this question. So according to that, you will have to choose which graph is justifying the given scenario. So based on the given scenario, which graph would be most correct? Okay. So the magnetic field B and distance r from the axis of the cable. So would it show a linear relationship or a non-linear relationship? If is it linear,
Non-linear.
okay. If it is non-linear, எந்த area or எந்த region அப்படின்னு சொல்லணும். If it is linear also, you have to tell me which region. Okay. Yeah. So I think you are nearing to the answer. So what do you feel? What is a magnetic field? How do you find out the magnetic field basically?
Inversely proportional B and R.
Okay. So amperes நீங்க அந்த law use பண்ணீங்க அப்படின்னா, so for a current carrying cable R and the current I which is distributed across its cross section, so you can see it is mu naught I by 2 pi r square times r. So in the relationship now we are going to use where r is nothing but the distance. So the small r. So here you can see the relationship. Where is small r and where is capital R? Okay, yeah. So here by using this relationship, this is magnetic field inside the current carrying wire. Okay.
Option
So the
one,
magnetic
sir.
field, yeah, is directly proportional to R. Option one, not cherry. Now நம்ம check பண்ணலாம். So whether it's one or two, well, let me explain. So B, magnetic field inside it is going to be directly proportional to the distance R. But if you go for finding out outside it, it is going to be greater than R. So outside would be inversely proportional. சரிங்களா? ஸோ இந்த ஒரு ரெண்டு ரிலேஷன்ஷிப் யூஸ் பண்ணி தான் நம்ம கிராஃபை வந்து ஃபர்ஸ்ட் டிசைட் பண்ணி ஆகணும். ஸோ இட் இஸ் ஷோயிங் அ linear relationship, for some part, and after that it is going to show an inverse relationship. So first it is linear, and then you can see it is inversely related, so it is going to show a non-linear region. So first it will be linear straight line, adukaprom you can see an exponentially decaying curve which we represent using a hyperbola. Adu hyperbola nu solluvom. So first one கிடையாது, second one கிடையாது, third one if you see it is linear until certain region until R, and adukaprom you can see it is inversely showing the hyperbola relationship. So the third option is most correct. So as per the relationship we'll go. So it's not first, it's not second nor fourth, but it is third. So this is the graph. This graph directly it is there in NCERT also. So if you read the chapter, they have given the graph also. In one of the blueprint question பாத்தீங்கன்னா இந்த graph கொடுத்திருக்காங்க. ஓகேங்களா? So this is question number 32. Fine. So moving on to next question, question number 33. Okay. This also I think it is easy only. So electromagnetic waves chapter. So an electromagnetic wave of wavelength lambda is incident on a photosensitive surface of negligible work function. If m is the mass of the photoelectron emitted by the surface, from the surface, having a de Broglie wavelength lambda d, then what is the correct relationship for wavelength lambda? So that you will have to identify. So photoelectric effect and the relationship in terms of work function and Planck's constant, நீங்க அந்த energy relationship use பண்ணி you can simplify it. Just try this out. Tell me what is the answer according to you. What is the kinetic energy of the electron? Because the electrons are getting ejected from the metal surface. So obviously they possess kinetic energy, isn't it? So
Option 4, sir.
Option 4 you're getting? Okay. Yeah, we will see that. Yeah, I think so. We'll see. I'm not sure until I solve. So half, so kinetic energy half mv squared is equal to, so kinetic energy. So energy அப்படிங்கிறதுனால h h nu ன்னு கூட போட்டுக்கலாம். ஏன்னா E is equal to h nu அப்படிங்கிறதுனால kinetic energy now I'm writing in terms of momentum. So you know the relationship between momentum and kinetic energy. So we can write this as p squared upon 2m. இங்க lambda கொண்டு வரலாம் in terms of frequency, in terms of lambda, c by lambda அப்படிங்கிறதுனால you will get hc by lambda. So try to relate them, okay, and rearrange for p. So p is equal to root of 2mhc upon lambda. This is what I get when I go for a rearrangement, isn't it? So I got what is momentum. Now do you know that de Broglie wavelength is related as lambda is equal to h by p. So I'm relating the lambda. In the lambda, our previous lambda vida, I'm trying to show differentiate it. So this is lambda dash. So lambda dash is equal to h upon p. That is equal to h upon, substitute the value, root of 2mhc upon lambda. Okay. Cross multiply, and you take the reciprocal and simplify it. So and try to express in terms of wavelength lambda. And the lambda வந்து வெளியில கொண்டு வாங்க. வெளியில கொண்டு வரதுக்கு நம்ம ஸ்கொயர் பண்ணி ஆகணும். So square it out. So if you square, so what are you getting? You get 2mhc by lambda is equal to h squared upon lambda dash squared. This is the relationship. So what is lambda then? Two mhc times lambda dash square upon h square. So h over h cancel panikalam. So you get 2mc upon h times lambda dash square. Okay, so you get it like this. So which is the relationship that we have, which is correct?
Option 3, sir.
Yeah. So option 3. Okay. Option 3 is the correct answer as per this. இங்க வந்து அந்த வந்து lambda d ன்னு கொடுத்திருக்காங்க. நம்ம வந்து lambda dash அப்படின்னு assume பண்ணி. Fine. That's all about this question number 33. So நம்ம relate பண்ணி பண்றோம். It's a relation between kinetic energy and the de Broglie wavelength relationship. Okay, so I hope this part is clear. So moving on. Next, question number 34. The escape velocity from the Earth's surface is v. The escape velocity from the surface of another planet having radius 4 times that of the Earth and same mass density is. So escape velocity or relationship you need to be using here. Okay, which comes from gravitation chapter. So
Option
Fourth option, sir.
okay, fourth option அதுக்குள்ள கண்டுபிடிச்சிட்டீங்களா? Okay.
2, sir, 2v.
Option 2. One is saying option 4, one is saying option 2. Okay, we will see.
Sir.
4. Cherry. So escape velocity. So relationship பாத்தீங்கன்னா under root of 2gm upon r. So on the relationship use பண்ணி you have to simplify. Simplify பண்ணீங்க அப்படின்னா I think you are getting 4v, correct?
Yes,
4v
sir.
is 4v தான் correct answer. Good. சரிங்களா? So 4v is the answer. So you go to relate them, substitute the values and you relate. You know, density is same, no? Density is not changing. So therefore, that will get cancelled off and finally you get the answer as 4v. Okay. So you want me to solve this? I think you can do this, right? This is quite simple. Escape velocity relationship. Under root of 2gm upon r. So we use that relationship. So 2gm and the mass இருக்கு பாருங்க. So you represent mass in terms of density and volume. Density volume relationship. So you go for representing like that. So you would get under root of 4 by 3 and the pi r cube. So அதெல்லாம் யூஸ் பண்ணி simplify பண்ணீங்கன்னா you would get 8 rho g pi r squared upon 3. So இது வரும் சரிங்களா. So then you go for relating them. So escape velocity of the first planet with respect to the second planet, Earth's surface with respect to the other planet. So v1 v, or you can say ve ன்னு கூட எடுத்துக்கலாம் for Earth. So you can take it that way. Velocity, escape velocity of the Earth with respect to escape velocity of the planet is equal to, so ratio of the radius of both the planets. So r upon 4r, ஏன்னா it is 4 times அப்படிங்கிறதுனால. So you would relate. So when you relate, r is going to get cancelled off, and finally what do you get? You get v.
V2 is equal to 4V.
Yes, 4. So you would get like this. That's all. So therefore answer is option 4. Directly also you can do it like this. நீங்க radius relationship directா போட்டீங்கன்னா உங்களுக்கு directா இந்த answer வந்துரும். So because that terms would get cancelled off appropriately. Fine. So next question number 35. If force, acceleration and time are chosen as fundamental physical quantities, find the dimensions of energy. Okay, very nice. ஸோ இங்கே வந்து அவங்க யூஸ்வலாக நம்ம எம்எல்டின்னு சொல்லுவோம். இங்கே அவங்க ஒரு சிஸ்டம் கொடுத்துருக்குறாங்க. ஃபோர்ஸு, ஆக்சலரேஷன் அண்ட் டைமை கன்சிடர் பண்ண சொல்கிறாங்க ஆஸ் ஃபண்டமெண்டல் குவான்டிட்டி. அதை ஃபண்டமெண்டல் குவான்டிட்டியாக நம்ம வச்சுக்கிட்டோம் அப்படின்னா வாட் இஸ் டைமென்ஷன்ஸ் ஆஃப் எனர்ஜி அப்படிங்கிறாங்க. ஓகே, ஐ திங்க் திஸ் ஆல்சோ யூ கேன் டூ. இட்ஸ் குவைட் சிம்பிள். ஸோ ஜஸ்ட் ட்ரை இட் அண்ட் டெல் மீ வாட்ஸ் தி ஆன்சர். Yes, dimension method use பண்ணி you have to solve it.
Option 2, sir.
Option 2. Okay, let me check. Option, yeah, the key says option 2, but how option 2 is what we want, because I don't have solutions right here, only the key I'm having. So option 2 is correct. So how did you get option 2?
Sir, on multiplying force area T square, only we get the energy dimensions, sir.
Okay, by using the method of dimensions. நீங்க method of dimensions படிச்சிருக்கீங்க. So you use that method, you will get it. So that is how you have to approach this question. There is no other way. ஏன்னா இங்க வந்து அவங்க fundamental quantities-ஐயே வந்து மாத்திருக்காங்க using force, acceleration and time. சரிங்களா? So use that and you will have to do it. Okay, so for energy they are telling you express in terms of force, area and time. So therefore energy is proportional to force to the power of a, and next வந்து acceleration a, so a to the power of b ன்னு வச்சுக்கலாம், and time t to the power of c அப்படின்னு வச்சுக்கலாம். சரிங்களா? So when I remove the proportionality constant, obviously I will introduce proportionality sign, I introduce a proportionality constant. So E is equal to some k times something. So f to the power a to the power b, t to the power c. So what is energy or dimensional formula பார்த்தீங்கன்னா in terms of MLT, if you're going to substitute, okay, so you would get m to the power, m தான் m அப்புறம் l square t to the power of minus 2, isn't it? Same thing in terms of now force separate எழுதுங்க. force வந்து mlt power minus 2 தானே. so I substitute for force to the power a. next acceleration வெறும் length meters per second squareங்கிறதுனால lt to the power minus 2 whole to the power b times, அப்புறம் டைம் மட்டும் தான் இருக்கு, வெறும் t தான் இருக்கும், to the power of c. எல்லா டேர்ம்ஸுமே கிளப் பண்ணுங்க. all like terms you club. so m to the power of a, l to the power of, I think you will get a plus b, right? and t to the power of minus 2a first வரும், அப்புறம் minus 2b plus c. சரிங்களா? இந்த மாதிரி you get it. so ml square t power minus 2 is equal to this. Now equate them and find out what is A, what is what அப்படிங்கிறது கண்டுபிடிங்க. So I think you will get A is equal to 1. That's quite straightforward. What is B value? A plus B is 2 அப்படின்னா B is also equal to 1. Correct? And what about C? Minus 2 plus, I think minus 2 you should get. C is minus 2. 1 second, minus 2 plus 2 தான் வரும். Yes. Okay. Just check it. So comparison பண்ணுங்க, comparing the coefficients of the exponential terms, you will get it. So A, B and C வந்துருச்சு. So F A T power 2. Okay. F A T power 2. So option 2 தான் correct. Okay. This is how you do it. I hope this is clear now. This is the method to solve this question. சரிங்களா? Yeah. Next question number 36. Can one of you read this question? Yeah.
Two conducting circular loops of radii R1 and R2 are placed in the same plane with their centers coinciding. If R1 greater than R2, the mutual inductance M between them will be directly proportional to.
So what is a mutual inductance when you can have two circular loops of radii R1 and R2 placed in the same plane? In the axial line la வந்து நீங்க அது ரெண்டுமே place பண்றீங்க. In that case, what is going to be the mutual inductance between them? Given the condition R1 is much greater than R2. So under this condition, we are finding out what is the mutual inductance. Okay. Yes. So what would be the answer? Direct application. So what is magnetic field? For conducting circular loops, the magnetic field is given by B is equal to, correct, mu naught I by 2R. So first one க்கு வந்து நம்ம R1 தானே, so 2R1 அப்படின்னு எழுதிக்கலாம். சரிங்களா? So what is the, when you substitute mutual inductance, obviously you need the magnetic flux also. So magnetic flux linked with them, magnetic flux sort of formula பாத்தீங்கன்னா phi is equal to dA. Okay, so we only write these two terms, and then now you go and substitute using in terms of mutual inductance. So phi is also equal to M into I because it is directly proportional. So on the mutual inductance the proportionality constant, because phi is proportional to I அப்படிங்கிறதுனால you get phi is equal to Mi. So this is what we have. Okay, now you go to substitute the values. So Mi is equal to BA. So and that relationship நீங்க யூஸ் பண்ணீங்க அப்படின்னா, so what is phi? Mu naught I upon first coil, so 2R1 times area is with respect to the second coil, so pi R square then, so R2 square. So substitute it. So what will be mutual inductance? So M is equal to, substitute pannunga second equation la, you would get mu naught pi R2 square upon 2R1. So what is the ratio of the radius? It is R2 square upon R1. சரிங்களா? So that is the relationship. So R2 square by R1. Which option is correct? So option 4. அவ்வளவுதான். This is how you approach this type of question. Okay, direct application only. So nothing more to think here. Formula use பண்ணுங்க, relate பண்ணுங்க, and then you go for a rearrangement, you will get the answer in terms of the radius. Okay, it's quite simple. So question number 36. Yeah, this is quite big. So question, just read slowly the question number 37, then with 36.
A point object is placed at a distance of 60 centimeter from a convex lens of focal length 30 centimeter. If a plane mirror were put perpendicular to the principal axis of the lens at a distance of 40 centimeter from it, The final image would be formed at a distance of.
Yeah. So where is the final image formed? That is a question. At what distance it's going to form? சரிங்களா? Yeah. So we have to draw the ray diagram first. So first in the ray diagram முடிக்கணும். முடிச்சிட்டு then only you will have to approach this question. Otherwise there is no other go. First you have to draw the ray diagram. So right side of this convex lens, what is kept on the right side? They have kept a plane mirror. You know that the mirror is always going to reflect the rays falling over it. So refraction happens for the lens while reflection would happen for the mirror. Combination of both refraction and reflection would give you the final image formation. So on the diagram first you draw pananum. Only once you draw the diagram will you be able to solve this. So that is the approach, okay, for this. So first என்ன ஃபார்முலா நம்ம யூஸ் பண்ணா first இந்த diagram complete பண்ணுங்க. So you have an object. சரிங்களா? Where is the object placed? At 60 centimeters. So நம்ம இங்க place பண்றோம் object னு வெச்சுக்கோங்க. So this is object O. So from here the light ray is entering. Okay, it is hitting your lens. So it goes and hits your lens. So you know that the lens is going to, with respect to the lens, anga and the aperture point la vandu it is going to get refracted. So it will refract and fall on the mirror. So mirror kulla fall aanadukku appuram the mirror is going to reflect it back. So it will reflect it at as the angle of incidence, you know, is equal to the angle of reflection. So adu vandu reflect pannirum. So when it reflects, where your corresponding image is going to form. So reflected ray also I am drawing. So it will reflect back. இது வரைக்கும் reflect ஆகும். அதுக்கப்புறம் what's going to happen? It is going to refract திரும்பியுமே. So it will refract and you have the final image formation is going to form. So actually it bends back. நீங்க இத dot line பண்ணீங்கன்னா, if you retrace the incident path, so it forms an image here. So like this you have different, these are the possibilities for this. So first probable ray diagram நீங்க draw பண்ணிடுங்க. Once you have found out what is the path of the rays, then you will go to solve the question. So which formula can we use to solve this question? Lens is there. You can obviously go for lens formula. Substitute the lens formula and find out where your image is being formed in the first place. Provided that you know the object distance in the question. Yeah. So use the image formula. 1 by f is equal to 1 by v minus 1 by u use பண்ணுங்க.
Option 4, sir.
Option 4 you're getting. Okay. 20 centimeter from the plane mirror, it would be a virtual image. Yes, 20 centimeters from the plane mirror. Okay. So இது வந்து 40 and that is 60. You're saying 20 centimeters from the plane mirror. Fine. Anybody else with a different answer? So how did you get 20 centimeters from the plane mirror? Can you just tell me? We'll see if it is the right approach. Yeah.
1 by 60 minus 1 by 40.
Okay. So 1 by 60 minus 1 by 40. Okay. Is equal to, directly you did 1 by 60 minus 1 by 40, is it?
So lens formula 1 by f equal to 1 by v minus 1 by u.
சரி. So 1 by 60 வந்து என்னது? Is it 1 by u or 1 by v or 1 by f? One by u அது 60 கொடுத்துட்டாங்க. 30 கொடுத்துருக்காங்க. 30 is nothing but F. What is 60? U it is, isn't it? So V you can find out, right? So find out V first. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So find V. That is the approach. So find out V and tell me. எவ்வளவு வருது?
Three by 60, 1 by 20.
Okay. So you said 1 by 20 after you reciprocal, or is it before you reciprocal it?
Before reciprocal.
So before reciprocaling it. Okay. After you reciprocal, what you get?
20.
70, 70 va?
So 20.
20. Okay, correct. 20 centimeters. Okay, you will get 20 centimeters. Fine. That's it. So if a plane mirror is now put perpendicular to the principal axis, then lens at a distance of 40 சொல்றாங்க. In that case, final image is going to be formed there. So for that, what is the final image formation? So 20 centimeters is for the lens alone. So அதுக்கு மட்டும். But you have a mirror at 40 அப்படிங்கிறதுனால. So where is it going to form finally? ஏன்னா இங்க வந்து 2f2 distance தான் உங்களுக்கு 60. f2 f1 distance you have 2f1, you have f1, all those things. Same way the right hand side வந்து 40 centimeters அவங்க வச்சுட்டாங்க. It is not 60 also, it is kept somewhere before itself. So do you think it's going to be option 4, 20 centimeters from the plane mirror?
No, sir.
Yeah, so what would be the answer? Now you can find out. You eliminate the wrong ones.
From the lens.
Yes, from the lens it is
Real image, sir.
okay. With respect to the lens, it is going to be a real image. Okay, and what distance will that be?
Twenty.
So it is going to be 30 centimeters from the lens, and it's a real image. Okay, so ஏன்னா இங்க 14 கொடுத்துட்டாங்க அவங்க, not even 60. So it is going to be from the lens towards the left side அப்படிங்கிறது you have to understand. So it is going to be formed at a distance of 30 centimeters from the lens, exactly at this point. So that is where your image is going to be formed, final image. So நம்ம figure பார்த்தே answer சொல்லிடலாம். So go by the method of elimination, we have to solve this question. It's not a big deal. Say, so next 38, question number 38, we'll move on. 3 resistors, I think this also you can do it. 3 resistors having resistance R1, R2 and R3. They are connected in the circuit. So ratio of I3 upon I1 for currents used in the circuit. So now உங்களுக்கு அந்த current divider அப்புறம் voltage divider எல்லாம் சொல்லி கொடுத்திருந்தேன். So you can use that directly and you can find out the answer for this. Yeah. So can you use that relation and find out? நீங்க அந்த divider relation use பண்ணீங்கன்னா உங்களுக்கு answer டக்குன்னு வந்துரும். Otherwise if you go with conventional method, it will take more time. Yeah. So one of you can try this question. Yes. So direct relationship also is fine. You can use the relationship and then tell me. So here you have a node or a junction. Here also you have a node or a junction. Okay. So இந்த ரெண்டுமே parallel combination. R2 and R3 ரெண்டுமே parallel இருக்கு. So நம்ம என்ன சொல்லலாம்? Current entering or some of the current entering a node should be equal to some of the currents which are leaving the node. So the ratio I3 by I1 is what they are asking.
R1 divided by R2 plus R3.
Okay. So you know that if you are going to use a Kirchhoff law, okay, so current law, you know that I1 is equal to I2 plus I3. That is also called as junction law. So sum of currents entering is equal to sum of currents leaving. So that is one relation. One more relation is for I2 R2 and I3 R3. So potential difference. நீங்க பாத்தீங்கன்னா both are parallel. Parallel combination, you know that the potentials are going to be same. Potentials are not different, right? Isn't it? So you can equate the potentials for both of them. So technically speaking, I2 R2 should be equal to I3 into R3 because both of them are in parallel. The potentials have to be same. I'm equating the potentials and finding out what is I2. So what is I2 in that case? I3 times R3 upon R2. So I got the relation. ஏன்னா potential same அப்படிங்கிறதுனால புரிஞ்சுதுங்களா? So like this we get. Now you go and substitute for I1. So what is I1 now? Is equal to I2 கிடைச்சிருச்சு, which is I3 times R3 by R2. Substitute பண்றேன் plus I3. சரிங்களா? ஏன்னா நமக்கு I3 I1 relation தேவைப்படுது. So you can take a common out, go for simplification and find out what is I3 by I1 now. So you can here take I3 as common out. So I3 common out எடுத்தீங்கன்னா within brackets you will get R3 by R2 plus 1 வரும். சரிங்களா?
Yes, sir.
So what is so I1 by I3 first எடுத்து கண்டுபிடிங்க. அதுக்கப்புறம் அதை reciprocal பண்ணீங்கன்னா கூட you will get the answer. So what is I1 by I3? I think I'm getting
R2 plus R3 by R2.
R2 plus R3 by R2 வருதுன்னு நினைக்கிறேன். Yes, ஆமா, LCM பண்ணீங்கன்னா இது வரும். So what is now? We want I3 by I1, which is reciprocal of this.
R2 by R2 plus R3.
Yes, which is option is
2. Option 2.
option 2, R2 by R2 plus R2. That's it. The second option.
இது கூட ஈஸி கொஸ்டின் தான்.
ஆமா. So this also you can approach like this. So potential relation use பண்ணி நம்ம டைரக்டா சால்வ் பண்ணிட்டோம். So நீங்க you have to be fast at extracting and simplifying the answer. That's it. That's how you do this question. Okay. Fine. So shall we wind up?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. I want to consume more of your time. So we'll wind up, children. So next week, we'll have 3 classes. I've spoken to sir also. So we'll have 3 next week. Yeah, and the dates also will be posted. So I will send the question papers. Around 6 papers previous year. Then we are going to solve all questions. That's what we have planned. So you can also keep trying them. So I'll post it in the group. Last class I was not able to do it. Now I will do it right away. Yeah. So see you all in the next lecture. Yeah. Hope it was useful.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Welcome, children.
Tomorrow morning
Thank
we
you, sir.
have at 9:30. It is biology class. Just for information. You know how many students are appearing for NEET? 20.8 lakh students are appearing for NEET. Adla girls அதிகம் 11.8 lakh girls. Boys
Competition is very high.
9 lakhs them boys. So competition is very high. மொத்தமா 1.4 lakh medical seats all over India. தமிழ்நாடுல 10,000 seats. Just for information. Okay, we'll meet again.
Okay. Thank you,
Thank you,
sir.